Z. Welcome back to the Silky Rabbit channel, and today I wanted to talk about friends. So I don't know if you've heard about the friendship recession, but it's a real thing. And I've listened to a few TED Talks and social studies on friendships, and I think one of my favorite takeaways is that friendship shouldn't be transactional. I feel like friends should be equal amongst most things, and we should really be there just to make fun, meaningful experiences with each other, to help each other to the best of our abilities, and to just support someone through their highs and lows. These days on social media, I feel like I see a lot of discourse about toxic friendships and also letting friendships run their course, and also about making friends, which are all extremely important. But what about not just finding a friend, but finding a chicken soup friend? Now, let me explain. I think when we have a few or a lot of friendships, it's easy to not feel lonely until we hit a low point. So when we have a few or a lot of friends, I think it's easy to not feel lonely, but all of that can be tested when you hit a low point. A low point being, you either get sick, you get hurt, you're having an exceptionally bad day or a phase in your life, and when you reach out to a friend for some support or comfort, all you really get back is some get well messages or sending you lots of love and healing energy, which are all really sweet sentiments. But if we're really being honest with ourselves, that's not quite the level of support that we're necessarily looking for a lot of the time, especially when you put yourself in the vulnerable position of asking for support. But this has definitely happened to me a lot before, which is where I kind of coined the phrase chicken soup friend. So when I moved to London at 17, I was 5,000 miles away from my parents in a completely new city, a new continent. During my first year, I got sick, I hurt myself, I definitely went through a few traumatic things, and it was then that I feel like I really realized that what I really wanted was a friend that I could call on. A friend that wouldn't just wish you well and send you off on your way, but a friend that would really show up for me. And I don't know, in my mind, I always thought it would be so lovely to cook my friend chicken soup while they're sick. So that's kind of where I came up with the term chicken soup friend, because while I don't necessarily expect chicken soup, I think it's the sentiment of effort. Support your friend, to show up in person as much as you can, to give them a hug, and to really be there for them when they really need it. I've realized growing up into adulthood that these kinds of friendships are truly really rare. And growing up in a household that was quite emotionally stunted, I didn't really feel emotionally supported by my parents, which was really tough. And I remember anything that would make my brother and I really sad, such as school bullying, were often just brushed off or seen as a waste of time to be dealt with. And so now as an adult, I find that it's really difficult for me to reach out to my friends for support. And when I really boil it down, I feel like it's because when my blood family couldn't really support me emotionally and they had a hard time with that, it's instilled this sense of doubt that my chosen family could do the same for me. I've definitely had a lot of doubt in whether my friends can really be there for me, if I'm burdening them too much, because coming to support a friend isn't something that is necessarily required from anyone. So when it does happen, it's really special because it's a voluntary act of service, it's an effort of love, and I think that's really beautiful. So yeah, here I am. I am at the midpoint of being 24, and this year I really feel so fortunate to have chicken soup friends. And while things are constantly changing and I could have more friendships or I could lose friendships, which is a complete reality of our lives, I think I've gotten to a point where I can recognize who I can find a chicken soup friend in, and I thought I just want to share that with you guys. So I think a lot of us want friends, especially friends of a deeper connection. But when I talk to other people about this, I find that there's a common theme of wanting to have a friend, but not really going out to make the effort. And moving to New York, I feel like I was very intentional about looking for friends. I had done the 18-person friend groups or the very light and casual friendships, and while they were fun, I didn't get the fulfillment that I wanted from these types of friendships. And so when I moved here, I kind of told myself that this was my chance to really change up my life in terms of friendship and to be really intentional about the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And so in that sense, I had to go look for them. I attempted things like Bumble BFF and talking to clients and, or if for your case, maybe a coworker. And I also tried making friends on social media. So if I admired someone a lot, I would reach out to them and see if we had a rapport, especially because there are so many people moving into the city all the time. Everyone's kind of looking for friends and everyone's down to meet someone new, which I think is really awesome. It's one of my favorite things about the city. I feel like there's a lot to be said about putting yourself out there and just kind of saying straight up, hey, look, I need a friend, and I don't know if you want to be that friend to me. I don't know if we have that kind of chemistry, but let's try it out. And I think a lot of people will reciprocate that sentiment. At least for me, I got a lot of people saying that they were very thankful for me reaching out, and I'm definitely very thankful when other people reach out to me because I feel like that means that people are drawn to my energy, and I love that. So I definitely love doing that for others as well. And I met one of my best friends through social media, which is really awesome. But the friendship really started when we met for the first time. So of course, chemistry is next. I definitely think you need to feel comfortable opening up to this person. So a lot of it for me is energy. I'm personally not someone who's very easy to just spilling all my emotions. So I really appreciate it when someone is extra patient with me and is very clear that they're there to listen to me. And that person was, and that was really amazing. So I think after solidifying the fact that you both are looking for a friend, you have chemistry, I think the next thing is to be very forthcoming about what you're looking for in a friendship. In my experience, deep friendships really only come through being raw and vulnerable. And while I think we would all love to have someone in our life that can just tell intuitively exactly what we need at all times, the level of support, the level of fun and rapport that we need. At the end of the day, people are not mind readers. I think you hear this a lot about relationships, but not enough about friendships. We often want our friends to almost be a clone or an extension of ourselves, but again, we all are different individuals with different backgrounds and different mindsets. So I think it's really important to communicate exactly what you're looking for in the friendship, what you need to be supported, what you desire in a friend, and how often that you'd like to see each other. So after I met that friend for the first time, we kind of just said straight up, I would love to meet up with you once a week if we can. I will definitely put in my best effort to try to make a plan with you every week, and that is something that we've been doing pretty much ever since, whether that's actually meeting up or if we can't do that, we'll often just hop on a quick call even though we live in the same city. I think it's really important to maintain this level of rapport constantly because then you're really involved with each other's lives. And I actually told her about the chicken soup thing. I tell that to a lot of my close friends that that's what I'm looking for in a friendship. I want to be there for someone when they are sick and hurt and having a bad day, and vice versa. I'd love the same treatment. And I'm really blessed to say that I feel like recently I've really found that. And yeah, I did verbalize what I was looking for, but for someone to put in the effort and to actually do that for me, it was really special. So what I'm talking about is the other day I saw something quite traumatic, and I don't want to get too far into it, but it's New York City, so let your imagination go wild. I was supposed to see my two good friends the day after, and still the morning after, I was still deeply affected and very in my head, very sad, and I couldn't really get myself to do anything. So I made the decision to not go meet my friends because I just didn't feel like I was in the right headspace and I wouldn't have been good company. And a lot of the time I think I have that kind of insecurity that if I'm not providing a good time, then my friends are not going to have a good time as well. And then And so, yeah, I kind of went back to my old ways and I was like, hey, look, like I can't hang out today. I'm really not feeling well. I witnessed something quite traumatic, and, they were really supportive and sent me very loving messages. And I kind of just thought that I'd catch them next time, but they actually showed up at my door. They brought chicken soup. They literally brought chicken soup because I had told them about having a chicken soup friend, and they brought a matcha cheesecake. I don't know if you can tell, but just thinking about it makes me so excited because this is what I've wanted my whole life. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. It really showed me that, these kinds of friendships that I've always imagined are possible. You just have to communicate what you're looking for, and if your friend is really a real one, then they're gonna make it happen. In a way, I don't really have much more to add to the topic. This was something that happened to me in the last week, and I just felt really compelled to make this video because I just want to spread the gospel that, these kinds of friendships are possible and they're beautiful, and you just need to put yourself out there. And one big reminder I have for you and myself is that not everyone is going to be a chicken soup friend, and that's okay. I've learned to appreciate friends of all different types. So, I have friends that I only talk to once a year. I have friends that we catch up every few months. And I have friends that I meet up monthly, and I also have friends that I see weekly and talk to on the daily. Everyone plays a different role, and I think it's important to have diversity of different people in your life. I appreciate everyone who provides good energy, but finding a chicken soup friend is something that is not easy. So I encourage you to hold on to such friends fiercely and to never let them go, to put in the energy that you want to receive back. I'm hopeful that we can all find our chicken soup friends, and whether that's someone that is near you already, and you just need to have a moment of recommunication where you say, I really appreciate you and I'm so grateful for this friendship and I want to see each other more often, or if you meet someone new. And I think that's always super exciting, and it's very valuable to be able to identify someone who might be a chicken soup friend. So yeah, to chicken soup friends, and thank you so much for watching today's video and joining me here, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye. Puff and say bye.